king that the Jews wanted. And so he had to know, well, when he finally came out and he thought, gosh, he's going to be the king of the Jews. Well, he finally figured out that Jesus was God's son, and his thought is, why in the world would he want to be king of the Jews? Why would he want me to do violence to save the Jews when he's going to save the entire world? But his thing, and Jesus, he's even walking and talking with Jesus, and he said, I thought it would be easy, I thought it would be joyful. And it's all the Jesus talking is all scriptural. That's really pretty cool. But Jesus says, well, isn't it joyful? He says, no, it's the worst thing I've ever had. Well, are you ready to leave me then? And the guy says, no. Well, why? Because I know who you are. and that's it, isn't it? We have so much strife. We have so much of everything. Why don't we just quit? It'd be easier, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd be easier than fighting all these battles now just to say, yeah, why don't we? And that's the answer. But we have to look at Jesus and we say, but I know who you are. And I think that's the thing. If you don't know who Jesus is, if you're not sure, that's what you have. That's something you have to deal with, because that's what that guy said when he's talking to Jesus. And Jesus said, "Gosh, is it hard? Is it this, that?" And he said, "Yes, it's hard. I don't know what to do. Don't know where to go. Don't know whatever. But I know who you are." And what do you think Jesus' response was? And that is enough. And that's the basis of what we have, isn't it? Jesus is enough. But what do you have to know about Jesus if you're going to say? You have to know without doubt who Jesus is. And who is Jesus? We're online. Welcome to our class now. We're studying Revelation. So who is Jesus? There you have it. God's Son. And that's the problem these people had back then. It's the problem we have now. It's the problem John had in this Revelation we're going to talk about. What they said over and over in the book was, no man could do that. What a great man. No one can do that. No, they can't walk. Whatever, will they? But who can? God. God's Son. So that's the thing we still, and I mean, we're back to your same thing, Randy, is no man, what man, how could man? And the answer is, yeah, because he's not man. He's got something no one else has, no one else can imagine. So, and that's what Revelation here is. You know, so I left that S off. So I've got it.
You got it.
I've got it. Yeah. Yeah. So
Chapters.
This is Revelation 5, 1 through 14, and it is called the Worthy Lamb. And that's what we're going to talk about. And our last lesson was when John was up in the throne room and he sees the one on the throne, and he sees what they call them, the living creatures, and he sees the elders, and we have the Spirit. So everything's there. Last time, one thing was missing, though, I think. And I don't think we saw Jesus in the throne room last time. Is that right? I don't remember seeing Jesus there. So this is the next part then that he saw. And first is going to be called the search. And it's 5, 1 through 4. Then I saw in the right hand of the one seated on the throne a scroll with writing on the inside and on the back, sealed with 7 seals. I also saw a mighty angel proclaiming in a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seals?" But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or even to look in it. And I cried and cried because no one was found worthy to open the scroll or even to look in it. very tough. So God has the scroll here. I guess that's going to tell us the future, whatever we find out what it says. And who can open it? From these verses, who can open it? Nobody. And who is nobody? Make it clear who all's around. So no angel. Not one angel is worthy to open that scroll. When we think angels are when we think they're pretty holy creatures, not worthy. Not one angel. Who else was there? The elders were there. They're sitting at God. They're sitting in the throne room. Not good enough. Not good enough. Who else? Nor angel, no one in that room, nor anyone on earth. So I bet there was some pretty great teachers, preachers, whatever then. Not one of them could look in it. Not one of them could have it. Who else? No one under. Who's that? Satan also not powerful enough to have it. And that's one thing I think we always have to know. Satan is not all powerful. Satan is what we think and we talk about, and we've got this Frank Freddy book about the demons and spiritual warfare and all. But make one thing very clear. What kind of battle is there between God and Satan? None. Yes, there is no battle between God and Satan. So do not ever think that Satan and God, and people say, what's the opposite of God? What's the opposite of Satan? Or what's the opposite of Satan? An angel, maybe? Yeah, he's a fallen angel. Certainly not God. What is the opposite of God? God. God says, I am, so he can be both ends. But there is no comparison there. And so when you do spiritual warfare, what is that? That is Satan's battle with us, our battle with Satan. Big difference there. And so just don't forget that. Be nice if God would fight it for us, but he did not. So why then would not one? Why can no one be worthy?
The only reason that my human mind can come up with is that God doesn't think anybody is worthy.
There's no without sin.
That's right. There's no one without sin.
Yeah, other than angels.
You think there might be, so they're not people, they might
We're
be
just
sin.
created beings.
Yeah. So they're Lord.
And maybe you're right, because there is no one. I mean, poor comparison, so I know I will make Gene cringe here. But I'm still going to say, if I've got a really sick patient and I want to pass them on to someone else, do you think I've got standards to who I'm going to pass them on to? Yeah. I'm going to pass them on to someone I feel like is as good as me, maybe even better, whatever. Who's God got to pass it on to? Don't give it away. In this room of who we're talking about, who's God got to pass it on to? Nobody. Not one, not even one, right? And so, the sin thing, and I think that is, and I mean, to me, it reminds you so much of Paul, which was after this. I don't know when the book was written, but not one, not even one. So what was that scripture? Someone knows that. Yes. So no one is righteous. No, not one. And so no one is righteous. Interesting. I thought that this is one of those things. So then John says, when no one's there to take it, And I cried because no one was found worthy to open the scroll or even look at it. Look in it. What do you think that is?
I think it's hard to say what John's feeling here. I mean, I think on one hand he's sad because it's a picture of humankind. It's a picture as to why we're there. The sin nature of mankind is brought to life right there in front of us because no one can open the book because of the problem.
You know, one thing reading that book I talked about is just interesting. Kind of gives me a different viewpoint. You do remember John has talked to God. John walked with Jesus Christ. John had him look him in the eye and tell him stuff, and you probably here understand some of what Jesus said. I mean, you imagine how much trouble we have here today understanding Jesus, walking with him and hearing him try to tell stuff, and you're trying to figure out what in the world did he just say to me, and you know, maybe that's one of the things that the commentary said, because he thought that meant, well, there's the scroll that I'm brought up here to the crown room to see in, and then there's not a single person going to be able to show it to. You know, I mean, don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think, but anyway, it was pretty serious to him.
He said that this is the same John that was the fisherman. And what his name given him was a son of thunder. And here he was weeping in the throne room because no one could open the door. The transformation of this lady's life.
Yeah.
The life of this book of the Revelation.
It is. It's amazing. Yeah. That's what I mean, full of that book. One of those things in that book I was reading was the Day of Miracles, and they split all together. But when a lot of miracles happened, also the day that Matthew that Jesus went in his house, and the disciples and Jesus had just called Matthew the disciple then. And so they were talking about all the great miracles that had happened that day. And Matthew says, none of those are even close to what the miracle that happened in my heart today. And you know, I mean, he says, so he fits the dadgum hand and brought someone to life. Nothing compares to what happened in my heart today. And you know, that's what you do say here is when you look at what would have happened to John to go from just a fisherman to being able to cry for whatever this reason is, it's pretty remarkable. More than remarkable, a miracle, we would say. So, but that's just the discovery. So this was I bet he laughed when this happened. So then one of the elders, and this is 5 through 7, then one of the elders said to me, stop crying, look, the Lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has been victorious so that he may open the scroll and the 7 seals. Then I saw one like a slaughtered lamb standing between the throne and the 4 living creatures and among the elders. He had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent into all the earth. He came and took the scroll out of the right hand of the one seated on it. So I asked the Lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David, who is that?
Jesus Christ, the righteous.
Jesus Christ, the righteous, and has been victorious so that he may open it. So how was he? Is he victorious? Over death, over sin, over what else? Over Satan. I think Satan, I mean, I think clearly with the temptation, Satan thought he could get to this spot, didn't he? Isn't that what Satan thought? Made you still think? You think Satan give up winning that fight?
I think he knows he's lost at that fight, but I think he's working as hard as he can to make it win with him.
Yeah.
You know, because now it's a struggle between him and God. Who can take the most, the uppermost in his mind.
The struggle to Satan, and it's that struggle, but I think again, God somehow already knows who those people are.
We know
Yeah.
this victory.
That's amazing. That's still amazing to me is that God allows Satan to have people. You know, I mean, it's just amazing to me how that works. Why God does just say, okay, I'm getting them all. Go away, I'm getting them all. I just,
He gave us a preach for.
yeah.
You think Satan's present? You think Satan's present? Think he's
No, I don't
present
think. I don't think so.
at the storm?
Because I know Satan goes back and forth between earth and heaven to be with God, the Father. I think.
We don't have any
think
indication.
we don't have any way of knowing, but I just don't think he will.
Isn't that amazing, even that, to think that Satan has direct access to God and talks to him and bargains with him, whatever it is. So it is.
Tries to bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Bargain.
Kind of like the great deal I got on a car. Right? Yeah. That's the kind of deal Satan gets. I guess God said, I got a deal for you today. Then is the description of Jesus Christ. I picture this and you think, my goodness. Then I saw one like a slaughtered lamb standing between the throne and the four living creatures and among the elders. He had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent into all the earth. I'm just going to think the slaughtered lamb would not look too appealing standing there. Anyone, I know some of y'all have studied Revelations. Have any of y'all studied the Revelation? Yes. Have any of y'all studied any of this imagery and what it means or might mean, or anyone wants to enlighten us on any of that?
Every time I try it, I get a little more confused. You know, it tends to lead a different direction. We get too many eyes.
Well, they're gonna, 7 is the number of perfection.
Right.
So that's got, that's involved there.
I guess if we were asked to take a pen and pencil and make a picture, I wouldn't know how to draw a picture of that. I don't know how to picture that in my head.
I'm thinking the 7 eyes could be that he sees completely, fully. He sees everything at all times. And the horns can be his power, the complete power that God has.
I know. I'm not supposed to read that.
Well, your mother probably told y'all at some point or other growing up, or you told your mother, I think you have eyes in the back of your head. That just meant she knew what you were doing.
Okay.
Right. She sure knew what you were doing.
So,
So it's not something
I picture, well, yeah, this first thing about the slaughtered lamb standing between. I picture that is the way he looks on the cross. That's just my image.
That's what I was
The way he looked. Oh,
that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
lambs, when you lead them to the slaughter, they know what happened. And so they're all standing there in line and they've got their heads out, they're very meek, because there's not a whole lot they can do about it. And even though we say animals are dumb, when you line up in front of the slaughterhouse, they know what's going on. I mean, I've seen it enough times to know they're just going to stand there, they're going to submit, just like Christ did on the cross. He submitted, And so, you know, even though they're not dead yet, they basically look slain because they've already given up. They don't have any choice in the matter, and they're going to go through with whatever is going to happen. I don't know how you can picture your own how he was slain. I don't know. We can get into all kinds of blood and guts here, but you know, but still, we picture Christ on the cross. We know there was blood there. We know the suffering that was there. When the animal goes to the slaughterhouse, they just put it down. That's what they choose to do.
A tough image, and I haven't hardly watched like what's the Easter show now, the Suffering of Christ or the Passion of Christ. But you know, I think still, to me, if I picture what most people would draw, the suffering Christ was a perfectly healthy body with some holes in his hands and feet, and not realize just what kind of suffering that was, just what kind of death it was. That book I was reading is talking about crucifixion in different places. So the Romans had it perfected where people stay alive for 7 or 8 days. Just torture. That's what they had perfected with the cross. Is a way to kill people so that no one else would want to have that. So, and then last he came and took the scroll out of the right hand of the one seated on the throne. And I asked, why is he able to take the scroll? Because he's worthy. Why?
He had overcome.
Yeah, he's overcome.
He obeyed the Father. He died for us. He rose again. So he's the only one worthy.
And I'm going to say because he is the Father.
Yeah.
And you say why? Because he is truly the only one. There is no other. I mean, I think we have to say who is Jesus, the only begotten Son of God, the only one. And so what you said earlier, Ray, because God didn't think anyone was worthy. However, God may have tried to figure out a way to make Jesus not worthy. God did that. Dad who says, okay, but guess what? Can he find a way? No. He is God. He is the begotten Son of God. He's God's, as I would say, flesh and blood. Probably not flesh and blood. He's perfect. Even if God wanted to, he has to say, golly, you did it. And you know, I say, interesting with my son coming back, and I've seen Dad. So I've said, I think when I came back to doctor, I bet Dad wondered, gosh, will he be the kind of doctor I want him to be? I think I've passed that pretty good. I wonder a lot of times, will my son, if he was to come back practice with me, be the kind of doctor I would want him to be? Hopefully he will pass. Jesus, when God sent him to earth, however that was, how did Jesus come back to God? Victorious.
But we know that this was all in plan before the foundation of the world. Because the scripture says that Jesus is the Lamb of God.
Yeah.
It was slain before the foundation of the world. Yeah. So there was no question in God's mind.
Yeah. There was no question, or again, was is not a word for God because of that time.
There is no question. Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, like I say, it's just that, but nevertheless, he is the only one that fits the bill. He's the only one God could say is worthy could not prove was unworthy, however you want to say that. I mean, I just don't know, I mean, it was in the plan, so God said, I'm going to make one worthy, and that's who he got, one who is worthy. So, and then the honoring is the last part of this, and this is 8 through 14. When he being Jesus, when he took the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each one had a harp and gold bowls filled with incense, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sang a new song, You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slaughtered, and you redeemed people for God by your blood from every tribe and language and people and nation. You made them a kingdom and priests to our God, and they will reign on the earth. Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels around the throne, and also of the living creatures and of the elders. Their number was countless thousands, plus thousands of thousands. And they said with a loud voice, The Lamb who was slaughtered is worthy to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing. I heard every creature in heaven, on earth, under the earth, on the sea, and everything in them say, Blessing and honor and glory and dominion to the one seated on the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. The 4 living creatures said amen, and the elders fell down and worshiped. Pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah, that's probably an impressive scene.
Yeah. So the first verse I thought was interesting, and I missed this several times. So 5:8, when he took the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Maybe they should have addressed Paul risk on those elders where they could have up there. Each one had a harp and gold. Each one had a harp and gold bowls filled with incense, which are the prayers of the saints.
I mean, doesn't it make you feel good to know that your prayers are still in heaven, that they're still being answered?
That's good. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't know that I've noticed that or read that. That's why I like to study these words. So you've got thousands of angels and all those beings, but we're there. We're there. And how's John know that even, I mean, now God gives it to, but I mean, that's just amazing that, and what would incense be for? We were going to use incense.
Soothing aroma.
Something soothing to the Lord, isn't it?
Yes, I missed something. Who are the 4 living creatures?
Those are the critters, the lion and the lamb and the eagle and the cow. Isn't that right? Is that what they were? So our prayers are a soothing aroma to the Lord. Our prayers are something that God keeps burning in his throne room all the time and says, yeah, I mean, really, if you think of that, does it not change what you think when you go to pray? I mean, it's like, brother, I don't like that incense. Come on. when I get ready to pray, he's like, come on, I don't like that one.
That's why we need to pray in the Spirit.
Yes. It is. I mean, again, that's what we say. And we have said, and I've read that it said sometimes in that book I was reading, it says, prayers for us, not for God. What's this say? Yeah. Again, that would be, oh, well, God doesn't need me to pray. No, he doesn't. I don't need air conditioning, but I sure do enjoy it, and I sure do like it, and it sure makes my day go better. Does God need my prayer? No. Does it make his day go better? I think that's what this says. I think it says he relishes our prayer. And we know that's in a lot of other places too. So tough thing though. And then all the other people, and they sang a new song, you're worthy to take the scroll and open some seals because you were slaughtered. You redeemed people for God by your blood from every tribe and language, people and nation. They be the kingdom and priests to our God, and they will reign on the earth. So we asked earlier, why is he able to take the scroll? And we gave several answers. Well, here's, I think as he would say, since this is the word of God. So here's God's answer. Why could he take the scroll? You're worthy because you were slaughtered and you redeemed people for God by your blood from every tribe and language and people and nation. You made them a kingdom and priests to our God, and they will reign on the earth. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he made it.
You know, we can say that he was obedient. Then in Isaiah, God says, I don't lead you into the unlead money. Lead you obedience.
Right.
So that's what
And it is. And then remember, for us, we will never be able to take that scroll. But we will be able to do what? We will be a kingdom and priest to God, and will reign on the earth.
And that brings to mind that you're, where you can come to the University Bible Study started in a week tomorrow. We're going to do one by Ray Vanderline. Wonderful teacher. Very unique. He's going to be teaching on Israel's mission, becoming a kingdom of priests in the part of the world. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, and sorry about that. And also, did you notice verse 12? Worthy is the lamb that was slain to receive power and riches with hallelujah chorus and handle. Verse 12, I think that's something to think on.
What? And those two verses are for 11 and 12, where he says he heard the angels and what they were saying there. So they said, I'll just read that. So they said with the loud voice, and be loud with it, thousands of thousands. The Lamb who was slaughtered is worthy to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing. What else did we talk about in Revelation that we said the same thing? Who knows their verses? Right on Revelation 4:11. You are worthy, our Lord God, of glory and honor and power, for you create all things. By your will they were created and have their being. Learning your verse.
I have written, I feel so bad.
Yeah. I'm positive.
Last year I learned every one.
I've said, and it's for whatever. So I'm still learning all of them. So I'm at all 12 and 8 now. So I've got plenty of them that I still go over every day. It's getting more difficult. Yeah. Yeah. But so who else got this kind of glory? Who else qualifies for what they told Jesus? And it is the Father. Did they describe what God has as any different than what Jesus has? No. But they're saying you, the Son, are as powerful as the Father. That's what all these heavenly beings are saying, is we recognize you as we recognize the Father. Is that correct? I think that always is very difficult for us, isn't it?
Jesus kept saying, I am Father of one. And he said, me, he said, Father.
Yeah. And that's what I say, it's very difficult for us still to contemplate that. I still like the shack. I mean, for that imagery, I know there's some stuff in the shack that's tough, but for the imagery of understanding God, the Father and the Son are one somehow. I mean, and that's what this is saying. They are equal. And you really would never, I mean, with our understanding, they're not, are they? I mean, not what I say. He's always the Father, I'm always the Son. He's always the patriarch, I'm not. I mean, you know, however that,
But you're sitting on my right.
well, that's how it works. Look what you got for your left hand.
Oh, God.
That is what's pitiful. But,
So that's why you sit like that.
Keep him in his place.
but it is, I mean, but that's what is impressive is they're describing the Son there exactly like they're describing the Father. And to think who's doing the describing then. It's easy in this to forget who's talking. So who's saying this?
Johnson.
Well, John's describing it, but what's he watching? It is. Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels around the throne, and of the living creatures, and of the elders. Their number was countless thousands, plus thousands of thousands. So, a giant praise fest who are saying, Jesus, Lamb of God, you are God. I think that's right. Is that right?
You know, it gets confusing. I don't think that maybe I sit on it. But my human side of me sees this as God the Father is passing the torch. Okay, it's your show. This is your kingdom now. I'm turning all over to you. Here's the book. Hand it. And that's just the way I see it.
And I think that's the way my mind interprets it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it says. What do y'all think? That's really what I wanted to get to. I mean, what do y'all think? Is God saying I'm done here?
The way we've been called is that Christ has done right here.
God's always there.
God's always there. He didn't
I,
and I had trouble with them being one. And everyone does.
well, you know, you get two matches and a candle, and put those two matches together and the candle has one flame. Think of it like that.
I can do that. So that is, I think it's kind of a works. I believe they're all one.
That's
I think I have the trouble that Randy has is I just can't help but see that passing the torch type thing as opposed to, I don't even say you call it sharing the torch, because sharing means one does something one does. And two, I just don't think we know where two great beings are truly one, and you can't tell the difference. I mean, I don't know where that is. I don't know where that exists anywhere to me. Do y'all know anywhere that would really exist? And y'all know me that for a long time. I'm going to say we're both not so good doctors. And we're both Dr. Martindale. You wouldn't recognize us as one, though, would you? And you might go to him for some things that he's better at. You might come to me for some things I'm better at. That you come to me much more than you go to him, of course. But you would never go to. You would never see us as one being. You would never see I can go to either one and get exactly the same thing. And I think that's what we get out of God and Jesus is I go to either one, I get exactly the same thing. Is that correct?
You know, it's always kind of been easier to understand when you know, you're Mark the doctor, Mark the husband, Mark the father. But then when you bring it into this context, it just kind of blows that out of the water.
Jesus is God. Jesus is God. When he went back again, he went back to another person. Well, it's a ridiculous thing.
We'll know. We will know.
I'm gonna have to.
Guys, let me put that on that list.
So,
You know what? Now, this is not scriptural. But sometimes I just think, I think they like us sitting down here discussing things like that. I think it's pleasing to know that we're thinking, that we're wanting to know that that's what we're saying. But when you get up here, you understand.
Sometimes I wonder, is instead of pleasing, does it amuse them?
There might be.
It was such a big orchestration up there to, nobody could open the scroll. What was the scroll?
we're gonna skip that.
And it had to be God to write it. Because if nobody else could read it, then he had to be the one to write it.
Yeah, and I was thinking today, it's kind of interesting, we're gonna skip the seven seals. But isn't it interesting, I mean, the way it reads, the first seal was broken and under that seal. So, I mean, you think, it's like he's saying, okay, he broke one piece and he could turn up one tiny little bit of that scroll and read that. Is that what, and if that's the case, then that's what was in that scroll, was what's read as under that first seal and second seal and third seal. But anyway.
Just looked at it like you can do a Christmas present, you give this a box and a box and a box and a box. And so this is one big gigantic, it's 7 scrolls really. And each one has a seal, and he opens one up and he's able to read that one, and then the next 6 are all combined. So he's got to open the next one up to number 6 and number 5.
I'm really happy to see here, really study Revelation. It becomes clear and there's no questions.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
It helped me so much of the age of fear. But David just, you can't read it just one time. Just finish it the second time.
So the last question I have is here. I heard every creature in heaven, on earth, under the earth, on the sea, and everything in it say blessing and honor and glory and dominion to the one seated on the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. The 4 living creatures said amen, and the elders fell down and worshipped again. And they go falling again. So I heard every creature in heaven, on earth, under the earth, on the sea. So you think Satan had to be in that throne?
Well, it's the same list of people that weren't worthy to open the scroll, to open the seal. We said that back in verse 34, so we said he was there.
I bet he was like some people I saw singing in church today. I can't see your lips moving.
Yeah, he be the only guy there that's not crazy.
He knows. He has to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where this is scary, and I think we have to understand whatever. This would be everyone that's ever been, I think, right? When we think that when you've got the elders and you've got everyone in, I think you're talking about the population when they're brought back for judgment, more or less, I think.
Getting ready for it.
So the people that choose not God before they're damned to hell are going to get a look at what they chose not, aren't they? Is that what this says?
The scripture says every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Jesus
And you know what's amazing? I mean, you know, if anything, we'll be crying, I think, for the ones we see. Now, I think now of some people, I'm going to say, I told you. We're not going to do that, are we? It's going to be, we're going to be worshiping. And if anything, I think the scripture says we're going to be crying over those lost. But that's what's amazing. Everyone is going to get to see. Everyone is going to.
You know, when it's this part's blessing, honor, and glory, and dominion to the one, you know, from again, this in my imagination, this is happening at the church. And he is going to, now he's going to, the one sitting on the throne, is the Lamb forever and ever. We're moving into a new time is the wrong word, but a new place. We're moving into a new
God Emeritus. Cindy saw a shirt the other day that had Dr. Taggart Emeritus on it. So if we got God Emeritus, is that what you're saying?
is he, because, yeah, hey, I can use my imagination as much as I want. But God the Father might be, yes, moving on to something new. And Jesus is now in charge of whatever is here.
I guess if there are one, they could be either.
I said I read one of Dad's favorite things at the hospitals when he went to the nurse, in the ICU, a nurse said, "Who are you?" And Dad said, "Well, I'm Dr. Martindale." And she looked at him and said, "No, you're not. I know him."
That's funny. That's funny. Was that you?
So,
You're pretending.
so and that's kind of what you're talking about. You know, I don't know. I will say it's what's clear is what's clear. What's clear is that Jesus has the same power, the same everything that God has. That when all eternity describes Jesus, when all the people, they give him the same glory, the same power, the same honor, the same dominion as what God has. And what we learn is the 3 in 1, that God and the Son are the same. That is a very difficult thing to understand. I don't know that we have to understand it. What do we have to understand? Just like, what do we have to understand? Let's get off there.
Yeah, we have to have faith in Jesus Christ, to accept him as the Son of God through faith. And
That is what we have to understand.
yes,
You have to say Jesus Christ is not a man. Jesus Christ is not a great prophet. Jesus Christ is not anything but what? The Son of God. The only begotten Son of God. And therefore there is no comparison. And you have to say that. If you don't get that, you don't get it. And that goes back to that book I read. The guy says, "I know who you are." And Jesus' answer is, "Then that is enough." And that's what we're given. And it's a mighty tight hold. That's how Jesus describes it. Many are going to say they're my friend. And I'm going to say, I don't know you and you don't know me. Tough dealings, but that's the dealings that we have.
And when we acknowledge that he's God and that he's our Savior, we have to put our trust in him. Not trusting anything or anybody else in the world but him.
And continue to grow.
and the world hates it. The world does not want to accept that. That's what separates Christians from the rest of the world, because we have humbled ourselves to the fact that trusted in Jesus and faith and we're being the same as God, the rest of the world doesn't comprehend that, so therefore they don't accept it. So it's hard for us, we can't comprehend it, but we accept it. The rest of the world logically would say, well, they would justify it, but that's not logical, therefore it's not possible. That's human.
Yeah, and that's it.
And
That's
causing
what
all
it
that
is.
foolishness.
All right. I think we go. Thank y'all for watching. It is not logical at all. That doesn't matter. It's that book I read. It's, you know, he's just